Hi, I'm Caitlin.
And I'm Bailey.
And this is Book Boyfriends.
All right, today we're going to be talking about A Vine Mess Duology by Tessa Bailey. The first one is Secretly Yours, and the second one is Unfortunately Yours.
Yeah.
So we're going to talk about Secretly Yours first. And we thought this would be a fun way to compare boys, too. Because it's not a triangle by any means.
It's not a love triangle, so we kind of needed the duology in order to talk about the boys that we would prefer.
But we're also just going to talk about the books as a whole as well. So the first one is Secretly Yours. It is following Hallie, who lives in this small town, and she's the gardener. So she gets a call to go work at her high school crush's family's vineyard.
Yeah.
To plant
the
plants
guest
in
house.
their garden. Yeah, the guest house.
Yeah.
And she's been crushing on this guy since high school.
Pining.
How old are they? 30 now, probably?
Yeah,
30?
I think she's 29 or 30, yeah.
Yeah, so, and they, obviously it's a fucking romance, so.
Yeah.
Shit happens, they're chaotic, and they get together.
Yeah.
Obviously, as previously mentioned in other podcasts, sorry if you missed it, but this is full of spoilers.
Oh yeah, spoilers.
Yeah, this whole thing, since I sort of just spoiled the ending, even though it's a romance, so is it a spoiler really?
No.
But, yeah, so that is the plot of this book.
Yeah.
So Caitlin and I have both read this book twice now, so we read it originally when it came out, I think.
Yes, I did. I bought it. It came out in February, and I bought it as a Valentine's Day book.
I read it. I think we read it at the same time.
I think if not exactly the same, very close, because your other friend had also read it.
Yes.
And she rated it very, very poorly.
And so we were like, oh, we got to read it. And so I borrowed my friend's copy, and she had hers, and we read it immediately. So what were your thoughts the first time you read it?
First time around, I adored it. I loved it. I loved Hallie. I didn't really like our MMC. I didn't really like him at all, actually. But I really, really liked Hallie. I thought she was super chaotic. And she was going through trauma in her own kind of fucked up way about going about it. And it caused her to do some really questionable shit. She stole cheese off of a cheese wall at a vineyard next to her favorite, wine place.
Yeah.
And she has been in love with Julien for, I think it's 15 years now.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, so he went off to be a professor, and she would, watch YouTube videos of his lectures and pretend that she was, sitting front row in his lecture halls. And at first, I found that extremely adorable.
I love that for you.
I found it so cute. I was like, oh my gosh, she... I don't know, her imagination got the best of her.
Yeah.
And I found it super endearing the first time around.
Yeah. I didn't think I even, So the first time I read this book, I did not like it.
Yeah.
I think I gave it 2 stars.
Yeah.
That held true, if not worse, the second time I read it.
And that breaks my heart because I love Tessa Bailey books. Every other book I've loved.
And it's not an unenjoyable book, which it sounds like it, but I'm rating it for the romance.
Yeah.
Because it's a fucking romance novel. So how I felt about the romance, I didn't like it. So I gave it 2 stars both times.
Yeah.
But there is a lot going on. And I think that holds true in all Tessa Bailey's books that I've read. Because I've read 4 now. And I know you've read a shit ton more than that.
Yeah. Not a shit ton, but yeah.
But she has just a lot more going on. Hallie's going through grieving because her grandma died. Julian's going through a life change at work and a bunch of anxiety, and then change at his home's vineyard, and he's having to deal with his sister and mom coming home. They have their own things going on separately. So the book wasn't unenjoyable with the other side parts, but the them coming together part, the romance of it all, I didn't love. Yeah,
I remember you saying that you didn't find yourself finding that they matched, that they went together. You didn't understand.
I don't understand them together.
I think
I've never experienced that in a romance. I don't think. Well, I guess fucking Twilight. But.
Reads, I did see them together because I think her chaos disrupted him enough.
No, I get it. I get why they're a good match.
But you didn't see it.
But I didn't feel it.
Oh, that's okay. Yeah. That's fair.
Because I feel with my whole soul these books.
Okay.
Usually.
I have I don't know if it's a weird opinion, but
I'm
like
scared.
in romance experience, which I've read a fair amount of contemporary romances.
Yeah.
It's kind of like my go-to now, which I never thought that I would be that person.
Me too, bitch.
Never fucking thought.
Dude, I saw this reel the other day that was like 50 Shades of Grey used to be show shit on, and I literally read smut on a daily now. On a daily basis,
Yeah.
I read smut. I'm work
Yeah.
reading smut.
Reading smut.
In public, reading smut. I hate when people at work are like, what are you reading? I'm like, nothing, bitch. Get the fuck away from me.
Yeah. Don't talk to me.
Like, it's romance, and I run away.
If it's a cartoon cover, don't ask me what I'm reading. If it looks like this, don't ask me, because you know what it is.
We all know now. All girls who are reading romance, when they say it's a romance book, it
We
is
know.
full 50 Shades now. Every one
Yeah.
of them.
So that's
Every
what
one of them.
That's exactly what I'm talking about in this book.
Yeah.
So I feel like character types typically translate to sexual types in that the conversation, their dirty talk, what they enjoy is pretty similar to who they are as a person. Like, you can kind of look at the character and be like, oh yeah, they got this kink. His fucking kinks.
I can't. No. The knees.
Dirty knees. Dirty. Like, literally fucking in the garden and telling her to rub her knees in the dirt. I was like, okay, motherfucker, I can't get behind this. I can't.
Like we said, she's a gardener, right?
Yes.
So when she was working out in the garden outside of the guest house where he was staying on this property, you know, she's on her knees in the dirt, and I'm sure he had fantasy, like, you know,
he
that
talked about-
instantly was like a fantasy for him, right? And he
Yeah.
gets brought up a lot.
So much.
About her dirty knees, and I can't. First time they fucked, outside, correct?
In a vineyard.
In the vineyard,
At
yeah.
August's wine tasting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We can't talk about him yet.
Okay.
But yeah, they fucked outside in a vineyard, not even his, whatever, in the ground. Second time they fucked, she said, "No, we're gonna skip the bed, go outside into my garden, in my personal garden, fuck
Yeah.
in the ground again, on the ground." And I
know.
just was like,
And
"Y'all
she's a
gonna fuck in a
virgin.
bed?"
And she's a virgin.
Yeah, that was another thing I didn't love about the book,
29-year-old virgin.
which is fine,
Totally
and
fine.
whatever, but
In this context,
yeah,
it did not
all
work.
the other things that happened.
It did not work.
I didn't think a virgin would do all those things, but I don't know because I wasn't a 29-year-old virgin. I was a 16-year-old virgin.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Like, how an adult...
But I know when I first started having sex, I was not doing what they fucking did in the kitchen.
No, the pace was insane. Like, this sexual pace.
The kitchen scene
I know.
was insane.
I know. It almost was too much. Both times around.
Once again, we're hoping you've read this book.
If you
not-
haven't, get out. Like,
No.
Go read it.
This kitchen scene, so you know she's working in the garden, whatever. I don't even remember what all transpired, but
It's like raining or something. It's about to start torrential storming. And
yeah,
he's like,
and
you're
so
not
they
driving
come
home.
inside.
Yeah.
They start doing things. And they start...
I can't even get it out.
What did she call it? It has a name. Because she looked it up later.
Yeah.
And told her friend.
It's like, I don't know.
They pretty much, instead of having sex, they just both masturbated right in front of each other.
Yeah.
And there's a name for that, I guess.
I can look it up.
No, please don't.
No, I don't want that on your search.
Your search history. Masturbating in front of each other. Can't wait for my mother to listen to this.
Oh,
Hello,
yeah.
Mom.
Hi, Mom. My mom's probably going to listen too.
Hi, Brandy.
Hi.
But, yeah. What's it called, Joe? No, you don't like that face you just made.
No, I don't think that's right.
I don't remember where it was.
Froting?
Okay, no.
Frauding?
No. It was literally called, like, something masturbating. Like,
Oh, wait.
Dual-
That is not one.
look it up.
I'm not even. Oh, no.
It had to be after that, right? I don't know, but
I don't
anyway,
fucking
they
know.
like masturbated in front of each other in this man's kitchen. Really?
Yeah, and what I found the most uncomfortable was that Tessa Bailey decided to tell us how many like streams, or she was like 2, 3, 4 like expellings that happened on her thigh, and I remember being like,
expellings.
I didn't need to know that. I don't know why. Like, I can get through a lot. Like,
Yeah.
there's not a lot that phases me.
Yeah, same. But that kitchen scene got me good. I don't know why.
I think that I honestly still think that that's why your friend didn't like it.
Yeah, 100%.
It's because of that scene.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think so too.
But
And I've seen it in another one of her books too.
that's what I was about to say.
and I
that
don't remember which one, but it
didn't-
didn't get me. I was unfazed. Oh, okay. You're right. You're
But
right.
I enjoyed that one more for some reason. I didn't enjoy it. I want to say I fucking enjoyed it. But
I think you did.
it did not bother me.
Yeah, and I don't know if it's, well, you read Hook, Line, and Sinker first, and it didn't bother you?
Correct.
Because I read it after, so I thought it didn't bother me because I'd already been exposed to it.
Yeah, no.
I think what bothered me about it, which, once again, I'm saying this as someone who wasn't a 29-year-old virgin,
Yeah.
but as a virgin, I don't know if I would do that.
Yeah.
That was her first, from what we know in the book, her first intimate relationship with a man, I
Yeah.
believe.
Yeah, it talked about like her pleasuring herself or whatever beforehand, which is like basically what she did, but never in the presence of a man, and a man that she's been infatuated with, somewhat obsessed over for 15 years. So like the context, you're kind of like, okay, wait, maybe if I was in love with the same man for 15 years and I was finally given the experience.
And if I was a 29-year-old virgin.
Yeah, I mean,
'cause-
like the tension. She must look
Yeah,
at
exactly.
everything and be like, fuckable.
So maybe to her that wasn't really anything. As to me when I was 16, that was a lot.
Oh, yeah, no.
So I think that's the only thing I'm like, whoa, my brain can't connect that because I don't have any of these fucking experiences.
Never.
But
Yeah.
I don't know. Which
Yeah.
I don't know very many 29-year-old virgins who can help me with this predicament, but I'm sure you're out there. Would you do this? If you are. If that was your first sexual experience with a
Please
man,
let
I
us
need to know.
know.
I need to know. But that was a part of the book I didn't like either. I don't know why.
Yeah.
I don't
Okay,
know why.
I have a question for you.
Okay.
How did you feel about the grand gesture at the end? Because like there's the third act breakup and then the grand gesture and then it's the end.
I don't even remember what it was. Was it the library? No.
Okay. No, that was the end of. Okay,
You're
so his
right.
grand gesture, he finally wakes up from his like 2 weeks of
we'll have
trauma
to get there, yeah.
blackout. Okay?
Uh-huh.
And he realizes he's been in a blackout like unrecognizing time for
Yeah.
days. And he's like, "Oh my god, Hallie." He's like, "I finally remember, like, oh my god, Hallie," you know? Mm-hmm. And so he goes and he like invites all these people from the town and he buys a bunch of flowers, and then Hallie's best friend abducts Hallie, takes her to the vineyard.
Yes.
And then they're all wearing the weird ass fucking necklaces.
Yes, I remember
'cause
the
she's
necklaces.
chaotic as fuck, and she wears like 17 necklaces at once.
can't pick.
Because she can't pick. It's like she's indecisive, so she wears all of them. So like that's a weird quirk of hers.
Very.
She has a lot of weird quirks, but that's just one of them. So everyone's wearing all of these necklaces, and then they're all planting. And
Yes.
Julian's like, put it wherever feels right. Like he's
Which
letting
is
go.
a lot for him because in
Yeah.
this book he's super type A, OCD,
Yeah.
anxiety, has the schedule, can't deviate. When she first started playing the plants, he's like, are they going to be equal distance apart from each other?
Yeah.
And she's like, I don't fucking know. And
Yeah.
so that's why that's a big thing for him.
Yeah.
Because he's a psycho.
So I didn't like the grand gesture.
It's not very grand in
It
my
wasn't
opinion.
a grand gesture, and I understand like
It wasn't a grand gesture in my opinion, like this grand gesture.
We're not there yet.
I know, but
Okay, but the way we are all the fuck over the place on this book.
I know.
We're all the fuck over the place, which is fine. But the whole premise of this book is that she drunkenly writes him a secret admirer letter, leaves it on his jogging route because he takes the same goddamn route at the same time every day.
yeah.
So she leaves it where he's gonna find it, and then still proceeds to have conversations with him, kind of pretending like she's not the secret admirer, even when he refers to the letters.
In her presence, she doesn't be like, oh yeah, bitch, that's me.
It's like that would have been the perfect time for her to have been like, actually, like I need to admit something, like this is
Yeah.
me, and she doesn't.
Correct.
And then she writes another one. So she writes 2 before Julien finally answers back, and then she gets mad
Bro.
that he wrote the secret admirer back, which is her, because she doesn't think that he knows that it's her, which at this point in time, he doesn't.
He hopes it's her.
He's imagining it to
in
be
his
her.
head, it's her.
But because she's never given any clues,
Yeah. Yeah.
and I mean, I
My brain.
I like the concept
Okay.
of the secret admirer letter.
Okay.
I'm a letter writer.
Yeah.
That's like, that totally makes sense to me.
Correct.
But getting jealous about him responding, that was like crazy. She even refers to it in this book.
I know. She's crazy.
She's crazy.
She literally got so mad.
Yeah, like she wanted to end things.
Which that was another thing the reason they didn't get together or
They were so
whatever
wrong for
is
each
because,
other.
yeah, they're so different, blah, blah, blah. And then, you know, she continues to write these fucking letters anyway.
Yeah. They're both a
And
little
then,
fucked.
you know, the whole pining after him for 15 years.
Yeah.
I can't with that because the first time like I said, I didn't really recognize it, but the second time, pure stalker.
Yeah. The second time around, that's what I
Pure
saw it as
stalker.
too. The first time I was like, oh my God, that's so cute. That's so
No.
endearing. Yeah.
No. She had one interaction with him in high school.
Yeah.
One.
Yeah. She like watched him from
They
the
kissed,
sidelines
right?
for a long time. No, they almost kissed.
Oh my
They
God, they
never
didn't even
even
fucking
kissed.
kiss.
No, so he was a senior. She was a freshman. He like took her out into the vineyard, whatever. And then he's like literally about to lean down and kiss. And then he like,
Something happens.
he's like, oh my God, you're a freshman.
Mm-hmm.
And like drags her out of the vineyard or whatever. And she holds on to this moment of the almost kiss
For her whole life.
for her whole life.
Also, when he comes back, he doesn't remember her.
Oh yeah, that's a whole
And
other
that
thing.
was a big thing, too.
She's like, nice to meet you again. And he's like,
The fuck?
again?
The fuck?
What do you mean?
How did I not know who she was? I remember her.
I remember those ringlets anywhere.
Her hair was curly. Yeah, so that was another thing she got super mad at him about
Yeah.
for no fucking reason.
Okay, but do you like Julien as a character? Initially and then second time around. Let's do that.
I like how he is very forward.
Yeah.
He tells that bitch what is up.
Yeah.
Like,
and
he is very straightforward about his feelings. And, you know, she's like, oh, we're just friends. And he's like, no, we're not. Like, he's very
Yeah.
like, no, you're not. We're not just friends. That is not how I see this.
Yeah.
That's just not how this is going. And so I like that about him is he wasn't playing the whole, like, we're wrong for each other game. He saw it as it was, you know, like, I need her to loosen up. And she needs me to rein that hoe in.
Yeah.
So I liked him in that aspect. Like, I really liked how he was very straightforward about what he wanted. And he was not afraid to tell her. I liked that about him. And I did. The only thing I thought was really somewhat creepy about him is when he would say, like, which in theory, this is cute.
Okay.
He just wanted to do things to make her smile. But the
Yeah.
way he said it
He was like, did it make you smile?
was creepy to me.
Yeah. Like when he bought, so the wine shop that she has like a heart for was her grandma's best friend's wine shop.
Mm-hmm.
It's failing. Julien comes in after realizing that she is like heartbroken about it's failing. And he like secretly, quote unquote, we all know it's
Yeah.
him. She knows it's him.
Everyone knows.
Everybody knows that it was him. He like gives the place a facelift. He buys a bunch of stuff. He like makes coupons so that like people would go to the vineyard, like to the wine shop or whatever. And where was I going with that? We're talking about-
He does stuff to make her smile.
Oh yeah. So like he would just be like, "Did it make you?" Yeah, that was weird. There was multiple occasions. It's like, okay, but did it make you smile? And then like that Hallie smile, like I have to get that Hallie smile or whatever.
Yeah, he'd be
And it was-
deranged.
Yeah. Yeah.
And there was a wine event in this town because it's in Napa.
Yeah.
And
That's important.
yeah.
It's an apple.
Yeah, so there was a wine event and Hallie somehow got tasked with babysitting all the kids, right?
Oh,
The kids are
yeah.
getting jacked up on sugar
Donuts.
and fucking God knows what, right? So they're going absolutely ballistic and he like sees it and goes absolutely like fucking feral.
Yeah.
To his sister. He's like, I gotta make her happy. I gotta fix it. Like I just pictured him just straight spazzing out. And like
Yeah, Natalie.
Natalie, yeah.
Yeah.
What'd I say?
I just said the name. That's
Oh.
all.
His sister Natalie, yeah, and so he runs and like does a story time to like contain the kids, and the sister's like, "What the fuck is wrong with this dude? Like he's absolutely losing it."
Yeah.
But to him, he was trying to help Hallie, which
He did.
yeah, I mean he did, and I get, but once again, just the way he goes about it is so weird to me,
Yeah.
and he's just a little
But it's part of his straightforwardness. He's like, the plan, get Hallie smile.
I guess
Execute
that's
it.
true.
You know?
I guess that's true.
But no, it was weird. And I think the first time around, I really, really wanted to like the book because I
Yeah,
really
you
liked Tessa
did.
Bailey. It was a
I
new
think
release.
you forced it on yourself.
Like, I think I did force it on myself.
I
But
decided there is a love triangle in this book after all.
Owen.
Owen.
Fuck off!
No.
There's No competition. That's not a love triangle at all. No competition.
None.
No.
He only asks her out 800 times in this book.
Yeah, he's sweet.
Yeah.
She's not interested.
This is example of a perfect could have been a love triangle.
It could have
if
been.
she like boosted up Owen.
If she would have went on a date with Owen, then we can consider it.
Talked about him even a little bit more than they did.
Yeah.
But I just thought that was funny.
Yeah.
I was like, Owen?
We need an Owen book. Tessa, write a book about Owen.
No, or just a love triangle, once again.
Love triangle.
Yeah. And the dispute or whatever of this book, how was your thoughts about that? Not dispute, breakup, the breakup.
It made me sad.
It made you sad, eh?
Yeah.
I was like, what the fuck is going on right
This
now?
is the perfect example of like a miscommunication trope. And I hate miscommunication tropes.
Me too, but I get them because,
Yeah. Okay.
the
So
books
like,
wouldn't be books without them. They all have them. Let's
she
be
was
honest.
dumb. She was dumb. He fell asleep in her bed.
She was dumb.
Listen. Of the two, I blame her.
Nah, dog.
You
Not
blame
me,
him?
for sure.
The trauma. He's fucked in the head.
The trauma.
He's fucked in the head.
He is fucked in the head and he needs help, and I do get that, and I'm not blaming him for what happened.
Yeah.
But it is his fault.
I mean,
what happened?
His insecurities.
I'm not saying he needs to
won.
go to prison for it.
Yeah.
But it's his fault.
But she left in the middle of the night. Did she
And then
not
when
think?
she comes home, he says, bye. And he just walks the fuck out.
No, he's freaking out. He's like, she's seen me weak.
We gotta say
She's
why
seen
he's
me
traumatized.
weak.
So
Okay.
years prior, his vineyard caught 4 years prior, his vineyard
Sorry.
in California, wildfires, whatever. So the vineyard caught on fire. His sister got trapped in some fucking building that was burning. And he knew his sister was in there, so he ran into this burning building to get his sister Natalie out.
Yep.
And got out. And he got out and it was great. But it was, very traumatizing. He shut down, had super bad anxiety.
Yep.
Which he had his whole life, which is another part of why he's so schedule-oriented, clean cut, is because it's the only thing he can control in his life. Mm-hmm. So that helps him. So he's super traumatized by that. So when he woke up in the middle of the night, Hallie wasn't there because she was out getting the letter she'd left. Oh, she wrote a letter.
The last one where
The last letter where she said it was her.
unveiled herself. Yeah.
She decided, nah, I'm not going to do that. So in the middle of the night, she left the house to go get it on this trail. And
After they fucked in the garden.
After they fucked in the garden. And when he woke up in the middle of the night and she wasn't there, he like started freaking out because he's like, oh my God, she's in trouble. She's hurt.
Yeah,
Kind of like with his sister, like,
Yeah.
oh my God, something's wrong. And so she comes home and he's freaking out. She assumes it's because he knows about the letter and is pissed off that she lied about it all.
Yeah.
But he's actually just freaking the fuck out. And his response to freaking the fuck out was to leave.
Yeah.
Flee the scene.
Yeah.
Not talk to her for 2 weeks.
Yeah, the embarrassment and the insecurity and the proving, because after the fire, his dad was like, I always knew you were a fucking basket case.
Yeah.
He was like, don't touch my vineyard again.
Yeah.
Like, being a total dickhead, which is common throughout the entire duology. We never hear from the father. Yeah, we do. We hear from him directly in the second one. Mm-hmm. But he's a fucking dickhead.
Yeah, for sure.
So his insecurity in that moment, he heard his father say, you've always been a fucking basket case. And that's what made him leave. He's like, now Hallie knows I'm a fucking basket case. Should he have shut down for 2 weeks? No. Did he have control over it? No.
No. Which I agree with. He doesn't have control over that. But...
And Hallie's just like...
And she's just chill with it. She's like, all right, you go.
Yeah,
I'm like, oh.
I fucked that up. You know, like, okay.
What the fuck?
Fucked it up.
Yeah.
Let me move on with my fucking life. Only 15 years being in love with this man,
I
but
know.
one bad encounter. All right, fuck me then.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm
yeah.
going to try to explain myself. It's fine.
Yeah, I know. A lot of it, I was like, just fucking explain yourself. Like, how hard is it to be like, I
Yeah.
wrote the letter. I was drunk.
The whole
Hear me
book
out.
was a miscommunication, really.
Whole book.
Of her not. Ugh. Because, like, once they got together, she's like, oh, shit, well, now I have to tell him about the letters. And then never does. Oh, shit, I missed another opportunity. And then, it's like one of those things that just gets so far and far away, you're like, well, shit.
The longer you wait, the worse it is.
Yeah, and so
Yeah.
she just never fucking did, honestly.
No.
And when he does his whole, like, what did you call it?
Grand gesture.
Thank you. he wakes up.
Yeah.
He was been awake this whole time, but he like wakes up from his haze and realizes, oh my God. And his sister was like, yeah, bitch, you've been in there for 2 weeks. And he's like, 2 weeks? And so he immediately is like trying to figure out how to find Hallie. Mind you, he still doesn't know about the letters at this time.
Yeah, he does.
No, he doesn't.
Yeah. During the
does?
stress out, he saw the letter. He picked it up. And he's like, this looks familiar. And she's like, yeah, it was me the whole time. And he's like, I always imagined it was you. There was that moment.
I thought he didn't speak.
No, he did. Should I find it?
No, I don't care, but you can.
No, I don't care. I mean, I'm not gonna fucking read it.
I know, I'm like, it's gonna take you forever to find it.
I know, I'm the worst.
But then they have their grand gesture and get back together, and
Yeah, everything's fine.
it's fine.
And then finally. So what'd you do?
Wait. So I hate this book, right? On my notes page, I'm so sorry.
I hate this book, okay?
What?
No.
That's literally what it says. 2 stars. Oh, and then I said, glad he's getting therapy. In the end, he gets therapy.
Yes.
Because he needs it. Anyway,
Badly.
I said, please let me read bad reviews from Goodreads.
Right now?
Yeah.
Do it.
Okay.
I'll let you do it. I think I ended it with a 3-star.
Oh, okay.
Because it still gave me butterflies.
You gave it 4 the first time, right?
Yeah. The first time I did give it 4 stars. But I'm also easily pleased. Like, it is not... if I smile, if I cry,
If I smile.
like, I'm happy.
What the fart?
What the fuck?
I can't spell.
Secretly yours.
There it is.
There it is. What's the average?
Oh, yeah, that's a good 3.3.
Okay, that's honestly higher than I thought because I've only seen
shit.
bad reviews, which hurts
Yeah.
my heart for Tessa Bailey because I love and adore her.
Yeah.
But it's okay.
Here's the one I like.
Okay.
Okay, it says, so I think a problem that I've, said is I don't like these two people together. I don't know why. Like I said, I get the personality match in the book itself. I just don't think it was done right. I never felt chemistry between them. Ever.
Okay.
Ever.
Okay.
So this book says, Dear Tessa Bailey, this review, sorry. Dear Tessa Bailey, what is happening? I felt more tension and emotions while reading my math book. And I lost it. I feel like he was more in love with her boobs than anything else.
Yeah.
He
Okay, that's
was.
the thing though. It's Tessa Bailey, from the male perspective, I do feel like she objectifies the women a little too much. Because
Yeah.
you had made a comment in another one of her books where you're like, I don't like how obsessed he seems to be about this aspect.
Her ass.
Yeah.
And I think I've kind of just gotten over it because I get it, I guess, too. Like when you're first seeing a person,
Like, that's what you see.
you see their physical attributes.
Yeah.
You're going to like those more than her brain because you've never fucking talked to her at this point.
Yeah.
So, I've kind of gotten over it, but
He did love her boobs.
Huh?
He did love her boobs.
And her dirty knees.
And her dirty knees. Rub them in the dirt.
This one says, I want to throw up, and then has a heart emoji.
What?
I want to throw up. DNF at 20%. It's got to be the kitchen scene. And this is, I'd honestly rather do my physics homework.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Physics
So
homework.
funny.
Why are high schoolers reading this book? Did you take physics in high school?
No, bitch, I took it in college.
Thank God. I never took it. Fuck that. I ain't
It was
taking
awful. Oh, Joe took it in high
I
school.
took it in high school.
Shut the fuck up, Joe.
We know your senior
So,
year.
yeah.
No, I took it junior year.
Oh, God.
How about you just shut
You're
fuck
a
right
baby.
off?
I didn't like it because it was calculus based and I didn't take calculus yet.
Oh.
So I didn't know what the fuck was going on.
But you took calculus the next year?
Yeah, I took it as a
That
senior.
seemed silly. I think my only reason I feel sad not liking this book sometimes is because comparatively between these two gentlemen,
Oh, yeah.
I feel like Joe is more Julien. You're not as uptight.
Yeah, no, not at all.
But then I'm like, man.
Don't look at me that way.
So I feel bad hating Julien. But you know what? Tessa Bailey just didn't do him justice
Yeah.
at all. All right, we can talk about the next one.
Okay, so the next one is Julian's sister, Natalie, who is up in finance in New York. I can't remember what her fucking job actually is, but she's returned home
Money.
because she fucked up an account or something. She fucked something up.
Made a bad
and
investment, lost a fuck ton of money for her company.
fuck tons of money. And then her fiance at the time was embarrassed of her broke off the engagement, and because he's the one that had the job, he kept the apartment. So she kind of had nowhere to go.
Yes.
So she comes home, and we see that in Secretly Yours. And Unfortunately Yours, she's still in Napa. She's kind of taken more of a role in the vineyard. Very, very side character role. Like, not...
Oh, yeah, not in the first one a lot.
Because she's, like, the heiress of this huge-ass vineyard or whatever, she's kind of just, like, known for her name, okay? In comes August Cates.
Whoa, you went hard. Are you talking about Secretly Yours?
No, Unfortunately Yours.
Well, he's in Secretly Yours.
Yeah, but... Okay.
So they meet at that Napa Valley...
It's a tasting. That's what it is. A tasting. Obviously, we are not like white people. Well, I enjoy the wine.
Yeah. I don't. But they meet. She goes to his vineyard. You know, it looks like they might be something. I don't even remember what happens at that tasting, but she gets mad at him.
Yeah.
Throws a drink at him and is like, I fucking hate you.
Yeah, but there's like there's an instant connection between them.
Instant.
They're both hella attracted to the other one.
Yeah,
like,
I'm sure she's hot. I picture someone so hot, dark hair.
Yeah,
long,
petite,
honestly tan.
Yeah, even from New York, like she's gorge. Like she's gorge.
I picture her more than I can picture him, honestly, for some reason.
No, okay. So he's supposed to be tall, brooding, like big motherfucker. What
was he in? He's
a Marine.
Marine, I think.
Yeah,
so,
he's a Marine. He's an ex-Marine. And he starts this vineyard because his best friend wanted to start a vineyard, and his best friend sadly passes away while they're on tour.
So he's like, I'm going to do it for him.
Yeah.
Because he can't.
So he's living out his best friend's dream, like, for him or whatever.
Yeah, and doing it very poorly.
Awful. It tastes like piss.
They called it demon piss, to be specific.
Yeah.
Actually, Natalie called it demon piss, to be specific, to his face. She said, this tastes like demon piss.
Yeah. It was...
You probably didn't sanitize everything.
He does a lot wrong. You find out soon enough.
We do find out.
He opens a vineyard with doing apparently 0% investigation on how to make wine.
Yeah. He, like, uses some...
Everything's wrong.
GI... something vet.
GI?
Isn't that what it's called? When you... Okay, wait.
Keep going with the sentence.
Yeah. Whenever, like, you are an active military service member and then you leave, you get, like, funds to either start a business or go to school, right?
GI Bill.
Thank you. So he uses that money to open up this vineyard.
So I'm a nurse, so when I hear GI, I think gastrointestinal, so I'm thinking...
That makes sense.
Shit.
I was like,
and so I'm
I
like, GI?
up.
He uses GI.
Yeah.
He uses shit. He uses poop.
There's a company that you can do that. You can send your poop in for fecal microbiota transplants.
And Joe
Joe's a microbiologist.
Joe's a microbiologist, so
that's why he knows that weird fucking fact.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, yours has 3.9 rating on Goodreads.
That makes me mad.
It should be higher.
It should be higher.
It's better than this demon piss. This is a demon clunk. This is a clunk.
Yeah, no, this one. Yeah, it takes the cake.
So first time you read it,
the entire time I was giggling. I just loved it. The first time? Yeah, the first time I'm like kicking my feet. I'm like a fucking little girl.
Yeah. Like, no, I loved it. I cried at the end. Like, yes. I loved it.
It was so... Oh, okay. Explain why they got together. Explain that.
Oh. Yeah. So she, lost her job, has no money. He's running this vineyard into the fucking ground, right? Natalie has inheritance, but the stipulation to her inheritance from her dickhead dad is she has to be married and have a job to get said inheritance. So she is like, okay, I need to marry him. I need to marry someone.
Yeah.
To get this money. And somehow he becomes the target because he could use her name to get a loan for the vineyard. So it's like a marriage of convenience. They'll both get a lot of money out of it.
Yeah.
And then her plan is to, divorce him later, go back to New York and
start up her own business.
Start up her own financial business. And he will make wine that doesn't taste like demon piss.
Yeah. So marriage of convenience, and they have to...
Which is absolutely, I think, now my favorite, whatever it's called. Trope. Second to enemies to lovers, which they I wouldn't call them enemies.
No, they fucking hate each other. Oh, the first chapter is...
They're very, like...
Oh, yeah, they're catty as fuck.
Yeah, they're very catty, but they have no reason to be enemies.
Yeah. They're not like arch nemesis
they're
or
not
whatever.
like, yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I'd call it enemies to
It's
lovers.
like distaste to lovers or whatever.
Disdain. Yeah, they like hate each other for no reason. But, oh man. So they are very at each other's throats at the beginning, but they get married.
Yeah.
Or, they talk of getting married for these benefits.
And they fill their family in. She fills her mom in.
Oh, yeah. Well, because her mom can sniff that shit out real quick.
She fills her mom in.
Her mom's like, don't fuck this up.
Yeah, and so, like, the big thing is that they have to convince the guy who is, like, in charge of the account that holds her investments, which is a friend of her dad's. Mm-hmm. So, like, they're inviting him over to dinner, and they're having to play, like, couple, like, fake date, basically.
Because they weren't dating, and now they're engaged. Like, they didn't even, like, try to ease into this. No, they just, boom, got engaged.
Yeah.
Boom.
Yeah.
At an event at this town.
Yeah. And, like, through faking it is obviously, as fake dating goes, is, like, how they really get to know each other. But they still hate each other. Like, it's amazing. They're, like, loving and hating each other at the same time.
It's my God. Line.
It was so
There's
good.
There's a fine line.
Yeah.
Between love and hate.
What were your first impressions?
Loved it. Everything about it.
Everything about it.
Literally wouldn't change a thing. Not a single thing I would change. No.
Okay, but when he got his investment from his dead best friend's dad, it was like it's a huge investment. I can't remember. Yeah. And he hides it from Natalie. And then doesn't Natalie also get something? What does Natalie get?
Her dad, right before the wedding, he's like, don't do this stupid thing. I'll release the inheritance.
Oh, yeah. He's like, you're going to fucking taint the name.
Yeah, he said, I'll release the inheritance. You don't have to get married. Quit acting out. You can have your money. If you're going to go through all these lengths to do it, just take the money.
Yeah.
She tells him to fuck off and gets married anyway. And August has the money from his friend's dad before they get married. And he doesn't tell Natalie he has the money, and because he thought he was helping her.
And she thought that she was helping him. Still.
Correct. So they still went along with the marriage.
Which shows that they actually love each other.
Because, exactly. Because in Secretly Yours, they did try to date, sort of, kind of. Like,
they were going
to, had feelings for each other, and then...
They were DTF.
Yeah, they were just gonna have sex that night. But, it would have led to marriage eventually. But... yeah, I don't know. I just loved him. So what about that? You would change that?
No, I wouldn't change it. I was scared that would be the third act breakup. It's like she would find out, and for some reason that would piss her off, and they would break up, and then they wouldn't get back together. Like, they wouldn't get back together or whatever. But what it actually ended up being was that when she found out, she was so touched by him wanting to go through with this anyway, because he genuinely thought he was helping her. Yeah. That she saw it as an act of love rather than an act of deceit. Yeah. Because if it went the act of deceit.
Which shocks me.
Yeah.
Truly.
Well, for her, money isn't,
You're right. She has a lot of issues.
Yeah, that's a fuck ton of money for me. Like, if you're hid that from me, like, I'm fucking pissed. But Natalie's grown up with that kind of money. Like, that's just a good investment. And he went through with this anyway because he genuinely cared for her. So the reason why I asked that is because I was scared that was what was going to break it. Yeah. Was that she was going to find out, or he was going to find out, and they would, like, get mad at each other or whatever. But they didn't. They actually, as adults, like, saw, oh, he hid this from me because he cares. Yeah. Not because he was trying to be deceitful, which I loved. I loved it. Oh, I loved it. It was good.
Did you love it the second time, too?
Yeah, I did. I didn't find, like, anything that I would have been like, I wish... that wouldn't have happened. Like, I genuinely liked it. And I liked the cat. There was, like, he has a cat. And he's, like, just causing chaos throughout the book. I liked
the cat.
I did like the cat. But my favorite part about Tessa Bailey books is at the end.
We can't talk about that yet. You're going too hard.
Okay.
Bro.
They are my favorite parts.
Stop.
Every time.
So, as August, as a man character, how'd you feel about him?
Oh, I want to love him. Listen, Tessa Bailey wrote him in the beginning of the book. He had this, like, saying where it was, like, instead of, like, lead with your heart, it was, like, lead with your dick.
Oh, yeah. She didn't paint him in a good light the first chapter.
She didn't paint him in a good light.
Let's read the first line to you to be specific. It's not good.
It's not.
For as long as August Cates could remember, his dick had ruined everything. Yep. So it goes on to say, you know, his dad always told him, trust your gut, son. But he said he felt it, you know, lower. So it said, which was probably why he'd mistaken his gut for his dick. So he translated his advice into trust your dick. So, yeah, that was an yeah, they didn't paint him in great light at the very, 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 very beginning.
Yeah, and I think okay, so Julien was straightforward in that I really care for you, straightforward. August was straightforward in that I want to fuck you. Like, that was like, he was so clear about that to Natalie. He was like, nah, baby, girl, like, let's go.
I don't know.
Like, let's go.
I feel like he knew he felt something for her, though, because at one point he was like, no, like, I knew we would get married.
He was like,
so I
if
married
we have
you.
sex, I know that that's going to be it for me.
Yeah, he's like, I married you because I knew I would marry you.
Yeah.
So I went along with the fake wedding.
Yeah.
Because I knew.
So his love for her, like his actual love for her, I did adore. I did love. But as, like, the way that he talks, I don't know. I liked Natalie more than I liked August, which I usually never like the
Females.
Yeah. I mean, as much as I like the males, which it's a romance, so I should like the males more.
Yeah, that's
like,
true, I guess. I mean, I just liked how he fell first.
Yeah.
I didn't love their cattiness to each other.
Oh, I thought that, I mean, but Aaron and I are dicks to each other. Like,
you are.
We're mean to each other in, like, the most loving ways that we can be.
I guess. Like, I didn't hate their
Her
cattiness.
eye just twitched, for those of you that didn't see.
I didn't hate their cattiness to each other, but they would go deep.
Yeah, no, they were ripping each other apart.
They were cutting deep because in their head, they were enemies.
Yeah.
So they thought, fuck it.
Like,
I'm going to just say this stupid offhand shit.
Yeah, and
which was still their vibe. No matter what. Like, even when they were together, that was still their vibe. But
yeah.
I don't know. That was one thing I didn't love, is sometimes they would go into each other too hard.
Yeah. I feel like Secretly Yours had more, like, plot and side plots to it. This one was very, like, straightforward. Like, the marriage and convenience, her side of the story, his side of the story. And there really wasn't any other, like, blending, if that makes sense. Does that make sense?
Well, he had his stuff going on because he lost his friend.
Yeah.
He's going through PTSD because his friend died during a, you know, outing, I don't know, military terms, mission. And his friend died.
Yeah.
And he
like,
thought it was his fault.
Yeah.
You know, I should have done this to protect him. And he died, and that's my fault. Which is another one big reason he did this vineyard thing. And on her side of it, she does all her self-worth, I feel like, through her career. And, you know, she's just broke off an engagement with this guy who was only with her for her social standing.
Yeah.
And so I think for her, once again, marrying another man for her social standing was hard.
Yeah.
Because she couldn't, no one had loved her, TBH. She had a shit dad.
Shit dad.
Shit ex-fiance.
Shit
and so
family dynamic.
Sees no value in marriage, obviously, which is why she just did the fake one. But she was like, oh, I just can't be loved. So it is what it is. Like, people just want me for what I can give them, kind of.
Yeah, and she does have this, like, struggle between wanting to be more a part of her family vineyard, and her mom doesn't take her seriously. Because she was, like, that teenager that threw parties and got drunk all the time. And even as an adult, like, she's a heavy alcoholic. I mean, not alcoholic.
Yeah, she was drinking.
Borderline alcoholism,
Well,
honestly.
when she first came home, she was drinking a lot because she had shitty things happen to her in her life. So she fucking drank every day.
Yeah.
Because she lives on a vineyard, so much wine, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Everywhere.
The chemistry between them two is a lot better than...
100%.
100%.
Very tension.
Very
the whole thing was tension.
It actually was. And it communicated well. Like, it wasn't just we were told there was tension, but, like, we felt it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that was the thing I was missing in Secretly Yours. I felt nothing.
This one, I felt the feels.
Felt all the feels. Yeah. I like how he fell first.
Yeah.
He did. Mm-hmm. I loved it. Wow. I just love him. He's a golden. He's a golden.
Really? You think he's a golden?
Yes.
I saw him as a bad and broody.
Really?
Yeah.
I see him as a golden.
That's weird. Mm-hmm. No wonder you love him. Julian's a golden.
No, he said he thought with his dick, though. That doesn't seem very golden vibes.
It doesn't.
Bad and broody.
Yeah. I just don't feel like the way she portrayed him in the beginning is how he
actually was.
Yeah,
But he saw himself that way too.
that's true.
So we did see that transition. There was a transition of like character development in this one. Like Hallie was a little bit more centered, and Julien was not as like
I'm
structured.
getting him mixed up with Fox in my brain.
Stop that.
I know.
We will have that discussion too, which I'm
Not today.
very excited for. But this one we saw character development that actually like was realistic and beneficial and made sense. And August's was great.
Yeah.
Yeah. He saw himself as worthy of love and not just a good fuck. I love him.
Their breakup.
I needed this conversation to solidify that I love him.
Yeah, he's great.
He is great.
He worshipped the ground she walked on.
Really?
I just loved him.
Yeah.
I think another thing actually with Natalie, her issue in her brain was, like you said, the vineyard and her mom. Mom wouldn't let her touch it, wouldn't let her do anything. August wouldn't let her touch his vineyard.
Oh, yeah.
And she saw it as an act of betrayal, and he thinks I'm stupid and I bring no worth to the table,
Yeah.
so I can't touch the vineyard. But he saw it as, I'm doing this for my friend. I am
have to do
putting
this
in the
alone.
work. I have to do this alone, you know, to prove to my friend that I can do it and that it's something that can be done. So that was a real point of contention between them. Honestly, I think that is why they broke up, is because she saw that as, okay, well, you don't see my self-worth, so I'm going through with the moving to New York and doing the investment stuff. And so she leaves. I don't remember if there were words had, but
I think she left a note.
yeah, I think she literally just up and left.
Yeah, for like a meeting, like a dinner with some investor.
Some investor, yeah. So she leaves to go to New York. Thank you. My brain was loading there for a long ass time, buffering. Goes to New York, right? And he comes home. She's gone. Oh. And his bitch ass gets on a plane from California to New York to go get her.
Which is, I'm sorry, unrealistic.
Bull.
It's unrealistic. Do you know how fucking big New York is? How did he know where she was again?
I think she said.
Did she say?
I think she said.
Okay, I don't recall.
Because that is dumb. I think she said.
Okay.
But my favorite part was
Okay.
at this dinner, her fucking ex-fiance walks in. And then August walks in.
With his new fiance too, right? Yeah. Because she sees it in the paper. She's like,
Oh, yeah.
that dickhead's marrying someone
Her
else.
ex-fiance immediately got engaged and like gonna get married to some other high-profile socialite. So that hurt. Wait. I think that was another thing they fought about. He looked at her phone or something, her laptop.
And it had him up
And it
on
had
it.
it up on it. And that really hurt his feelings.
Yeah. Poor August.
I know, I forgot about that. But yeah, he went to get her. I think even during the interview, she kind of realized in her head, like,
This isn't what I
this
want.
ain't it.
Yeah.
I want to go back. Like, I'm done with this life and this fake bullshit. And so when he comes to get her, and she's just like, yeah, let's go home. Like, I'm done with all this. Like, I'm ready to go home and do this. And I really liked that. Yeah. I don't know why. I found it not surprising, but I've always struggled with the idea of women giving up their careers for love.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so
Yeah.
that was something that happened. And I don't think it was just because of the romance aspect of it. I think, she was burned by that career, so she had other reasons to let it go and do something else. But
And I think she was starting to gain her love back for the vineyard.
Wine, yeah.
And wine and winemaking and being in that
in
community
the process, and she knows so much because she grew up around it.
again. Yeah.
Even though she wasn't necessarily allowed to do a lot of it, she learned a lot still.
Yeah. And she doesn't, yeah, a woman should always like look for a career if that's what she wants to do, but she didn't need to,
Yeah.
like Nepo
Because
baby.
she was gonna help.
Yeah.
Wasn't like she was just going home to
Be home.
with August. She was going home to work on the vineyard, and they were gonna make wine.
Yeah.
Okay, you can talk about it now.
Oh my God. Okay. So Tessa Bailey, I think, writes the best epilogues.
Yeah, dog.
The fucking best epilogues. And
This
it's
one
always,
was my favorite.
It's
From
just-
the only
yeah.
I've only read two, but damn.
damn. I mean, it's great because that's one thing that always hate about finishing a book is like I feel like there's always something more. Like there's always more that you want to know about like these characters.
I feel like a lot of romance is just like, okay, we're back together, happy bow, done.
Kiss,
in the book.
fade to black, the end.
Yeah.
But her epilogues really make you feel satisfied. Mm-hmm. And this one was fucking adorable.
She doesn't have the epilogue in Secretly Yours.
No. Yeah.
So it's at the end of like the series. Yeah. Let's say.
So she does that. So for the Bellinger sisters, she did it at the end of the second book. Mm-hmm. And then the other trilogy of hers, the Hot and Hammered, she does one at the end of those two.
Okay.
And they're all phenomenal. They're all great. But this one, I cried the entire. I'm like hiccuping, crying.
I was sitting in a bathtub. I remember it all too well.
All too.
10-minute version. I was sitting in there, reading this book, trying to get it done. I had it in my brain like, I'm finishing this fucking book tonight.
Yeah.
Just because I wanted to get it done, not because I hated it. Yeah. I loved it. And I get to this fucking epilogue, and I am just bawling in this fucking bathtub.
It was
because it's so good.
It was so good. I remember I was sitting on the couch and I'm like bundled up in a blanket. I'm literally like.
This is a you remember where you were situation.
Yeah, like you remember where you were when you read this epilogue. It's fucking amazing. So I don't know how far forward do we jump.
What do you mean?
How many years? I mean,
plenty.
A good amount of years. Because of epilogue. 8 years later.
Yeah.
8 years later. It's just beautiful. So it describes Natalie and August's relationship, like family. So they have a family. And it's three daughters. And we get little bits of information about them. So what the scene that we're in is I think their middle daughter has a recital. And the boy that she's supposed to dance with isn't there. Like, we have no fucking idea where he is. And August is fucking pissed. He's so pissed. He's going to, like, beat up this little kid or whatever. So this beautiful man goes out on stage and does the entire dance with his daughter because he went to all of her practices, practiced with her at home. He knows it.
He knows the dance.
So he went out.
Big old ex-Marine doing, I picture ballet wearing a tutu.
Yeah, like, what's 100%
that? Wearing a tutu.
What's that movie with The Rock? Where, he's like the footballer. He does.
And he gets that girl.
Yeah, he does a ballet.
His daughter, I think, in the movie.
Exactly what I picture.
That is probably where she got the idea, to be honest.
Honestly, yeah. It was her jazz recital.
Oh, even better jazz hands.
Literally.
Yeah, and I don't know why it got me.
I think it was just because it was just like, he's a good dad.
He's super protective.
He's super protective.
Because of what he went through with his friend. Like, there's something else with Natalie where he freaks the fuck out. And so he, that translates to him when he has kids, obviously. But
yeah.
And it also does tell us about Hallie and Julien. They're married, obviously, and have twins.
Yes.
One is a carbon copy of Hallie, and one is a carbon copy of Julien.
Which I love. I love that dynamic. And also their mom, Corinne, which we haven't really talked a lot about Corinne, but I feel like she went through her own character development. Like,
for sure.
Allowing her kids back into her life and, like, also laying down her own cards. I feel like she was a lot
like, my brain just, like, realized something.
Okay.
She was a lot like August in the fact where she felt, I need to do this on my own.
Yep.
And so she wouldn't let her kids touch the vineyard. In the first one, she starts letting Julien. In this one, she starts letting Natalie. But she got left this vineyard from her ex-husband. He just fucking abandoned them. And it was her vineyard. So she's been trying to figure it out. And so she won't let anyone help her. Kind of like August.
Yeah.
Natalie married her mom.
Natalie married her mom. Her mom. But it also, I love that it also says that Corinne has a new husband. It just throws that little bit in there.
But doesn't tell you who?
No, it says
it's the investment
they're
maker.
outside the school auditorium. Natalie, August, Hallie, Julien, Corinne, and her new husband. That's all that we hear about him. But I remember reading that and being like, oh, yay. Like, yay for her. Yay for her. I love that. So, yeah.
Wow.
So this one was way better. Worth the read. Because we contemplated not reading this one.
Which is absolutely sick.
I can't believe we almost missed out on this.
Yeah, because we hated, or at least I hated Secretly Yours so much, I didn't want to read Unfortunately Yours.
Yeah.
And I think a really funny thing in Unfortunately Yours, which you kind of touched on, is Hallie's in it.
Yeah.
They're not in it a lot, but Hallie and Julien are in it. And Hallie, like, says something to Natalie about her fucking unhingedness, and the first one about how psychotic she was about the letters.
Yeah, like, I think Natalie fucked something up, and Hallie's, like, trying to comfort her, and she's like,
Bro,
honey,
I did this shit. Like, you can
like,
come back.
I got jealous that Julien wrote The Secret Admirer back when it was me.
Yeah. So she realizes she was fucking stupid.
Yeah.
Which was funny. Yeah. And I think another thing I really loved in this book was there was a moment, the moment Natalie realized she loved August. So not them, you know, with their physical, because they were very physical in this book right from the jump.
Yeah.
Which is
They
chill.
wouldn't have sex, though, right? Or they would, like...
Probably.
I think they...
Didn't her vagina have a name? Didn't he call it a name?
I think he did. Wait,
But anyway,
why did I
while
not
she's
take that
looking
down?
at that, I know, it literally just boop popped in my head. He called her vagina a name. No.
I have no
Princess,
fucking idea.
Queen, something. He called it something.
Wait.
You reread it. I didn't.
I know.
I would have written that down.
Okay, I'm currently reading a sex scene, so excuse me a moment.
Yeah, he's got to say it in there. Something's happening in this town. There's like a flood, and they're driving. I don't remember why. Oh, they get called.
They're not driving. They're watching the news. They're watching the news or something. Yeah.
To help because he's, you know, this big bad ex-Marine did whatever the fuck he did in his time. And so he goes out to this flood because a woman is stuck in water in her minivan with her kids. And this woman is like the only woman that drinks his wine, first of all.
Yeah.
Which I don't think that is the only reason he helped her. But, you know, gave him more incentive. So he goes out hooked up to this line and harnessed so that they can reel him in if he needs and he doesn't get lost in this flood. But anyway, he goes to rescue the kids and this woman who are standing on the hood of their car in this water. And Natalie's just watching all of this and pretty much freaking the fuck out.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of when she realizes, like, oh my God, I love this man because I'm about to watch him probably die. And I'm traumatized right now and I don't know how to feel about it. And that was like one of my favorite scenes too. There's a very similar scene and It Happened One Summer. I think this, unfortunately yours, and It Happened One Summer are, I dare say, near the same.
He refers to it as queen.
Thank you, because he calls her princess and the vagina is queen.
Yeah. It just made me laugh. I don't know why that just came to me, but it just makes me laugh.
Yeah. Thank you, Joe.
Quick Google search. He got it quick.
Yeah. I was reading a pretty good sex scene, though, so. It was not a waste of time.
It's never a waste. Never a waste. Oh my gosh.
And
That was beautiful.
Tessa is the queen of dirty talk.
Steamy. Yeah.
Like,
I guess the exact line is, wait, so I'm the princess and my vagina is the queen.
That's it? What was his response? I care more about what he says than what she says.
I don't know. I can't. It's on.
they didn't cite it?
I need.
Well, it's like the Google when you search, it gives like a blurb of like,
Yes.
information.
Yeah.
Well, when I click on the website, it doesn't give me where it's at, so I can't find it.
Dumb. But yeah, that was. Yeah, like you said, I can't believe we almost didn't read that.
I think I probably would have.
Yeah.
So I probably would have been like, no, like, you
You
need
must.
to pick it up. Like, you'll like it. But yeah, it definitely crossed my mind.
I can't spell, unfortunately. It keeps like popping up for a second and then going. I still don't think I'm doing it right, but definitely didn't, but it popped up. Thank God. Let's see if there's any bad reviews. What?
There better not be. Oh, don't do it. Okay, thanks.
God.
Just making sure the book didn't fall. Whoa, that's a long one.
Yeah, it does. She said she liked it better than the first one, but still didn't like it.
Okay.
That's all. I'm gonna.
Secretly Yours really was a flop. And it's so sad because I think the concept of it is really cute.
Have you read My Killer Vacation by Tessa Bailey? Because this one said she liked that. So she said this book is terrible.
Wow. I wouldn't say it's terrible.
This is a funny line. I kept feeling like I was reading AI trained on Tessa Bailey and bad porn. That's kind of accurate as fuck.
Oh.
But I thought it was good porn. But I enjoyed my time. Oh, here we go. A few of the quotes that made me want to DNF this trash. This bitch came with receipts.
Good.
And I
I
can't
love
wait.
it when they do that. Like, don't just talk shit. Like, back it up.
This one says, why did he have the ridiculous urge to move in a fast clip back in her direction and catch her up in a kiss? Bitch, I don't even know what that means, but apparently that's a quote.
I don't understand that.
Me neither. His tongue touched the seam of her mouth and fingers of lust raked up her inner thighs. She put in all caps the fingers of lust. It says, what are fingers of lust? A just known computer wrote this. I just know a computer wrote this. That's funny as hell. Someone to smack him in the head and remind him he was marrying a tin.
Yeah.
Oh my god. This bitch. She said, I don't even know if it's a girl. It says, are we really ranking women on a scale of 1 to 10 in the year of 2023?
Oh, okay. No, that... She was just getting a little hypercritical there. In my opinion, she was just getting hypercritical.
Yeah. Your tits look insane. Thank you.
I would love to hear that.
From August Gates, I would love to hear
Like,
that.
sorry, I would love... Especially my man. Like, in this... Like...
Yeah. She's
Unfair.
rude.
Those are unfair.
This one's good. He entered her with his tongue, I'm assuming downtown, pushed it as deep as possible, and her womb itself constricted. That's what it said? That's fun. Oh, he's a Navy SEAL. We fucked up.
Oh, fuck.
That makes more sense with the water.
That's a whole hell of a lot more... That's so different than a Marine.
Yeah.
Literally
That's why I was
so
like, I don't
different.
understand the water thing right now. When I was explaining it, I'm like, I don't think they go to water, but Navy SEAL makes more sense with the water.
Wow, we fucked
situation.
up. I'm so sorry.
We don't know what we're doing, okay?
Now I'm gonna have to go through and like put Marine every time.
Navy SEAL.
No, Navy SEAL, not
the
Marine.
Clip. Use that clip. Use that clip.
Yeah. Don't. Gag. And man, this girl is just...
Yeah, that was a long shit, like, shit on a book.
I feel like if you hate a book though, you can easily nitpick things like that.
Yeah.
I mean, I can nitpick it, but I'm not gonna.
I'm not going to. Like, I had a good time. That's like...
Oh, here's some... This bitch came with receipts too. 5 stars. I can't breathe for loving you, and loving you is the only way I can breathe. This gives Bridgerton.
It does. Yeah.
I cannot breathe when you are not near. I love Bridgerton, dude.
The way you whispered that.
That's how he does it.
I know.
Well, I guess that's all my thoughts on this book.
I think those are all
5
mine,
stars.
too. No, it's not.
I gave it 5 stars.
You gave it 5 stars?
It made me cry.
It made me cry, too, but I cried everything, so I didn't do
Yeah, that- I don't.
Never mind. You're right.
It made me cry, so I immediately gave it 5 stars.
That's a good rating system. It is. If you cry, 5 stars.
Yes.
But I cry at everything, so that does not work for me.
Yeah, and I guess I did cry every summer after, and I only gave it 4.
You only give that book 4 stars?
Yeah. That's a conversation for another day as well.
Yes.
Caitlin, what are we talking about next week? Next 2 weeks, whatever. Next time. Next time.
Oh, yeah. I forgot for a second there. Our next book we're going to delve into Love Theoretically.
By Allie Hazelwood.
By
Just
Allie
one book this
Hazelwood.
time.
Yeah, just one. So we're going to do a deep dive. But I'm really excited for it. And then in a couple weeks, we are doing the Bellinger Sisters duology, right?
I believe. I don't remember exactly when, but yeah, y'all could probably get a head start on that guy. Those people. That is also by Tessa Bailey. It Happened One Summer and Hook, Line, and Sinker.
Yeah, which to this day are still my favorite of the Tessa Baileys.
I think It Happened One Summer is my favorite.
Mine is Hook, Line, and Sinker.
Which we already knew that.
Yeah.
Before we spoil all of that, so obviously when it comes to Team Julien or Team August Cates,
August.
we are Team August Cates.
Yeah, definitely Team August Gates.
But I don't think that's Julian's fault. I think that's more Tessa Bailey's fault
Yeah.
for how she wrote Julien.
Yeah.
as if he's fucking real.
He just really likes those knees.
Them dirty knees.
I can't get over the knees. Like, I can't.
Yeah, we'll do Bellinger Sisters, and then after that, we have Every Summer After written down. Do you want to wait till the summertime?
Oh, I don't care.
Yeah, say I am not that way, so.
Yeah, we're not seasoned enough to do seasonal episodes.
Yeah. But I do think for around Christmas time, we should do Wreck the Halls.
Tessa Bailey's Wreck the Halls.
Tessa Bailey just came out with a Christmas romance.
Yeah.
So hopefully we'll try to do that one around this holiday season. We haven't read it yet, so we'll have to read it. So I'm excited to do one, because so far all the ones we have lined up are ones we've both already read, and we've either gone back to reread them or we're just kind of talking from what we remember.
Yeah.
So it'll be really fun to do one that we have both never read and just do it from like our immediate feelings.
Yeah, I think one of the things about like going back and rereading also is that you and I have already talked about these books. So there's some things that like I already got off my chest that I don't remember, so like I already got off my chest. But like when we read new books, like we've already told each other like we cannot talk until we're sitting in front of the microphone. Like we can't.
So we've already had our moments with these books.
Yeah. We've already had our fangirls.
So it'll be fun to see how we act on a book
I know.
we haven't read yet before this. So, all right. Well, we will see you next time. Thank you.
Bye.